Welcome back to the channel, fellow adventurers. And if you're new here, we do EDC gear and knife review videos. And today we have something that's a little different. Have you ever thought to yourself, man, I'm new to EDC, I'm new to knives. I don't know a lot about how they work, how they operate, what the innards of a knife look like. Well, this company here called JIN, J-I-N, they sent this along for me to take a look at and to show you guys. And this is the build your own knife kit. So let's open her up and see what we have. All right. So the first thing you're going to see is these acrylic handles. Pull those out of there with your liners. So we'll get that out of the plastic. Then you're going to have your blade. We will carefully take that out because, as the big warning sticker says, it's sharp. So we'll pull that out as well. It even comes with a little protective cover in there. But we'll take that out, put that there. Grab the other handle and liner. Get that out of the bag as well. Move this stuff off to the side. And what I'm going to do is, when we start to do the build, I'm going to shut up because there are going to be some things that we're going to want to speed up for the sake of time savings. So down here in this box, you have the accessories. So they give you basically everything you're going to need to build this knife. So first thing in this box is you're going to have the instruction manual, which is going to show us step by step how to build this knife. If you've ever taken knives apart, it's fairly simple. These directions are going to be straight ahead, and they're going to be, if you're experienced, stuff you already know. But if you're new, this is going to be a wealth of knowledge. So in the bag, we're going to have your cleaning cloth, which is really nice. It's got the JIN logo on that. So that's kind of cool. We'll put that off to the side. They give you a container of knife oil. So not a lot of knife oil, but enough to build a knife with. So we'll put that off to the side. Then they give you your tools that you're going to need. Your T8 and your T6 torque. So we'll put those there. This is the backspacer. This is a G10 backspacer, which is nice. Then you have your parts with your bearings and your screws and your pivot. Then they have this insert that snaps into the liner, which is a decorative piece. And then, of course, your carry clip. So we'll put that here. And we will move this out of the way here. Since this is magnetic, we're going to put all the parts over there. And dump those out so they won't roll around. All right, to save some time, what I did was I went and unpacked everything and laid it out so that we wouldn't have to do it and unbox everything while we were shooting the video. So let's start at step one. Step one, they're calling for the main line, the handle, and your liner that has the lock. And you're going to put them together like this. And then you're going to take the pivot screw, which is over here, and you're going to insert that right into there. Now, this is a captive pivot. So for those who are new, a captive pivot means that there's one flat side on the pivot. So that way you'll only have to screw in one side and only use one tool, as opposed to when you have two screws on each side and you have to use two tools to hold it together. Captive pivot makes life so much easier. So we've got that there. Next thing they want you to do is take the frame inserts and put them in. So the frame inserts are going to go right here. And what I'm going to do to make this a little easier is I'm going to start screwing this in. Actually, let's take the pivot out for a second. Let's get the screw in first, because I find this is going to be easier this way. With the screw there, I can then take the frame insert and just get that threaded so it doesn't fall out. There you go. And we'll do that right here as well. So we'll get one of the screws. And these are T6s. And we'll get the other frame insert. And we will get that threaded up. We'll try to get that threaded up. There we go. These big fat fingers I have sometimes are not made for little projects like this. And now we'll put that pivot back in with the flat side facing forward. And we'll push that through. I have to get it to line up. There we go. Almost there. Perfect. So that's step one. So we've got half the knife built. Step two is going to be to put the stop pin right up here. Then we're going to take one of the ceramic ball bearings and put that right along the pivot. And then they want you to put the back spacer in. It's the G10 back spacer, so that's just going to slide right over the frame inserts. And what you're going to want to do is just put a drop of oil, which I already did. So we'll go there. I kind of did that before because I knew that was going to be needed. And next thing we're going to do is we're going to insert the blade. That's just going to slide over the pivot, just like that, as you see there. Now it's going to push back because of the frame of the liner lock at the moment. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take the next ceramic ball bearing and put it right over there, right into the spot, and just a couple of drops of oil. Again, we don't want a ton of oil. I know how many times you bought a new knife and you click it open and oil just flies out of the pivot. I'm trying to avoid that. So that's step three. Pretty easy so far and pretty fast. Next thing we have is step four. So step four is we're going to take the liner and line that up with the handle. There's that yellow insert. I already put that in off camera to save time. Let's wipe this down. So that will then get put over here. And we'll try and line these up. Actually, let's line that up first with the inserts. Beautiful. Now we'll put the acrylic handle over it. And this is where this gets tricky because you have to kind of line everything up. So let's get a screw in here on top. What they did was, which is really nice, they color-coded the screwdrivers with the instructions so you know exactly which one to use. Perfect. Really well planned out, this kit. And we'll just screw that down. Yep, and that's bringing it all together. Beautiful. And we'll take the next one, put that one back here, get that going. And last but not least, the pivot screw. And this one's a T8, and that's when you're going to use this puppy, the orange color-coded one. I'm going to screw that down. All right. And now I think I can tighten these up on this side because I left those loose to start. Perfect. They sit in there nice and flush. Really nice on that. All right. So we have one more step, but let's see. Look at that. First shot, that flipped out perfect. Let's clean this blade up. We've got oil from our fingers and from the bearings. And since it's a highly polished blade, it will leave fingerprints, but they give you this nice cleaning cloth. So now let's put on our clip. So I'm right-handed, so we're going to do this as a right-handed carry. So here's the clip. What's nice is, look at that clip. It has a nice star and cut out there, which is really nice. Really nice, attractive kit, I gotta tell you. The clip sits flush in there nicely. So, and this is what always throws me off, because these things are so, these T6s are so small that I often have trouble getting them in. But we'll get it done. That's one. And that's two. So there you have it, your completed knife. Look at that. Would that take us 10 minutes or so? And you have a completed knife. And if you've never built or taken apart a knife, this is fantastic. You get to see all the inner parts of how the knife works. You get to build a really nice looking knife as well. Take a look at that. You have that beautiful, highly polished D2 steel blade. It's 3.5 inches. Actually has some nice jimping on top. And the handle feels really good. It's a large knife. I mean, I wear an extra large glove, and that's a full 4-finger grip. You can choke up on here because of the jimping. And it's a flipper tab, which makes for easy deployment. Now listen to that sound. That is fantastic. JIN did a really nice job with this. I mean, the kit is very well organized. Comes with everything you need to assemble the knife. And they're quality components. I really like this. Knife oil, screwdrivers, you know, your cleaning cloth, which it's just all a nice touch. And these kits are not very expensive. They're about $37, $36 in that price point, that area. They do have them in different handle ways as well. If you didn't like the see-through blue acrylic, they have black. Then they have ones that have like a stars and stripes type of pattern. And they also do it with a PVD coated blade as well. So a lot of nice options. Really nice kit. Again, it's a D2 steel frame lock. Right off the bat, drop shutty. Just really, really well built. And that clip appears like it's going to be a really nice clip. You know, mostly deep carry. You should have a little bit sticking out, but I think it's fantastic. Definitely worth it. They also make a version of this where it has a plastic blade. So if you want to teach a youngster about knives and how to build them, how to take them apart, that's a great place, because then you can have them work the knife, build it, work it, use it. It's not going to cut because it doesn't have any sharpened blades. So JIN, very good job on that. And thank you for sending this along. They provided this. I really am excited about this. I think this is a great thing for people who are beginning in the EDC and knife community, who want to know more about knives. And this is a great learning tool. And then you have a really good knife. All right, folks. You do have a spot for a lanyard, by the way. Just had to point that out. But, all right, folks. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to the channel. And as I always say, until we meet again, keep your blade sharp.